The 11th of November 2023, Micheál Martin, our Taoiseach, he's the Deputy Prime Minister of Ireland, and Irish Times has been sued. Now, the hallmark of this is that it was in the newspaper that a Sinn Fein TD down around Wicklow, down around there somewhere, his name doesn't matter, you'll get it there if you want to search for it, has sued the Irish Times over some comments made to do with the war in Israel. Now, I don't have a monkey's notion or clue what it's about. If I get time, I'll write to him and his lawyers and ask them for a copy, a transcript of what was allegedly said to see what they'll do, because I probably won't get involved. But if somebody was suing an unfortunate person, and this happened in people that I'm involved with, suing them because they knew they hadn't the money to defend themselves, I often come in and I either help that person as a Mackenzie friend, or I get the words they're supposed to have said and then I publish it myself. So they'll have to come after me, and then I can defend myself at the courts, and it costs me very little, and I make sure I have the law right, and I'll wallop them and they'll back off, always, in every case. But in any event, what happened here was there was some comments made. Now, I would have thought your views on the Arab-Israeli conflict was kind of so controversial and so topical that we all could make any statements we like, and we all could criticize anyone who makes statements. But here again, until I get a look at it, I don't know. But what I'm really getting at here is that Micheál Martin is whinging that the sue in the Irish Times. And that proves that the Irish Times is not only a puppy for him. It's only a propaganda machine for him. Why is he worried about them? What's to do with him? And then they're suing the journalist personally, right? They're suing the journalist personally. Now, I normally wouldn't bother, but still, if the journalist makes the remarks, if I make remarks which are actionable, I have to pony up. So why shouldn't the journalist? So Micheál Martin is totally put about by this. And yet he's been in the government for as long as anyone can remember. What has he done to improve the laws on defamation? Now, what they did, they improved the 2009 Act by giving penalties, by giving a different process, by explaining how the courts are to handle it, but they didn't say much about what actually is defamation. And if I'm going from memory, it says something which would cause the victim to have their good name unjustly impinged or attacked. I think it's loose enough, so it doesn't say it too much. Now, of course, if you went into case law and all of that, you'd never be done. But I have to take cognizance of the law of defamation in all my videos. I have studied it fairly good, and I know roughly how to dance around them. Because a lot of people don't know. They're afraid they'll get caught. You see, it's like Stormy Daniels in America sued Trump, but it was hyperbole. Trump called her horseface and all this. And the judge rightly said it's hyperbole. In the middle of an election campaign, things fly in all directions, and you can't just have the courts propping up that sort of stuff. They have to back off it a wee bit, okay? But in any event, I have known people forced to settle cases because they couldn't afford to go on. They couldn't afford the barristers. I don't have time to help people, and if I do, generally I get it resolved some way. I remember a case where a person was being sued, and the young barrister came in on the suer side, on the plaintiff side, and said, I don't know what this is about. And only for I was there to advise on what to say, that person wouldn't know what to do and would be put down and lose badly in civil action for something that was totally wrong. I knew another case, and I'm going to name the judge here because I can give evidence on this. Miss Justice Mary Lafoy sat in a Cavan court once and ruled in favour of a plaintiff of a person who claimed there was a river in a field, and there was no river whatsoever. Why didn't she go out and look at it? I name her because I happen to know that. Now she can come after me now and sue me, and we'll have sport. S-P-O-R-T. I couldn't wait. So that's what happens. So Michael Martin has been high in politics. He's been the Taoiseach, and he's done nothing. And now he sees the Irish Times, rightly or wrongly, being sued by the judges he had an act in appointing. And he's whinging and whinging and whinging. They don't like it when it turns against them. I don't know what happened. I'll try and find out and follow it a bit. It could vanish into thin air. I don't know. But the point is made very rightly. The cost of going to court. If you were sued in the morning and you want to go to the High Court to get redress, you need a solicitor, a junior counsel, and a barrister, a senior counsel. And they have it rigged in such a way that the junior counsel will be laughed at when he goes into court. He'll feel inferior. It's not the done thing. So total, with VAT and all, you'll have to come up with 40 grand to start. And if you don't do well and you want to appeal, I don't know how much more, could be 20,000. That's the way the cost situation is. And it is absolutely stupid that that's the case. I was involved in a case, I won't say what it was, where the senior counsel totally disagreed with my take on it. The junior counsel agreed I was right. The solicitor agreed I was right. And when it went to the court, coming up to the court, the other side backed down. Because I was right, I had the law, I had the facts on it. And you have to push it like that. But in this case, they had lawyers and they got all their costs. And that was the subject of my intervention. So I don't know what Michael Martin's going to do. He won't consult me anyway. And we see this now. This is not right that someone can sue a poor person. I'm not talking about this Sinn Fein TD. Maybe he is right. And the Irish Times is a company, so it's not a poor person. The journalist herself, maybe, I don't know. But it's not right in general that some rich person can tackle a person who has a little house in the corner of their field or something and put them out of it by some old conjured up case. And they have to submit because they have no money to pay for the defence. Have I made that quite clear? I might do a bit more on defamation. Personally, I don't think you could defame me. What could you say to anyone about me that would upset me or that would reduce my esteem or my standing in the community? I don't care tuppence for what people think of me. I couldn't give a damn if they all thought I was Satan, Saint Lucifer, or if they all thought I was the son of Adolf Hitler or anyone else, or Ian Paisley, or anyone else. I couldn't give two damns. If somebody goes round and tells that fella is up in the chapel and he's stealing the money out of the priest's box, I think that's so funny I'd laugh at it. And if they want to believe it, that's their problem. I can't think how I personally would be defamed. What could you say? That I go to mass and I put my hand in the box and take the money out. So, what do I care? I mean, this thing about being sensitive about what people say about you, I think it's a bit much. I don't think there should be. I suspect maybe there should be no defamation laws at all, except for they're used for commercial purposes. So if I was supplying, let's say, bottled water, and I'm doing a good job here, and someone goes out and publishes that I'm actually putting slurry in a small bit of slurry in it, I mean, that would damage me financially, and I'm entitled to redress when that is wrong. I think that would be the point. If there's a direct financial loss, or some person loses a job or gets sacked because they're sued, or because they're defamed, or something is said, or someone that goes up for a job and he's been honest all the time in a hardware store, and someone rings the manager and tells him that fella stole money from me. That fella stole money from me, which is untrue. And if that happens, you should be entitled to sue because you're down money. But as for your good name and standing in the community, I honestly like to know what you think. I don't care if everyone in this parish, if everyone in Ireland hates me with a vengeance, with a vengeance. And if the thing came up to all types of horrible activities, I don't care. If the thing tried to tell me that I murdered 16 people and have them all hid down in the bog, I don't care. It's up to the punter to assess these things and to understand, am I the sort who would do it? Is it a load? Is it vicious or is it not? Or what is it? Because things can be said quietly anyway. Things can be said among people. And if you say something to another person and you take my good name and the other person denies it, how do I prove it? If it's one word against the other, how do I prove it? Anyway, that's the story. Micheál Martin's whinging that the law is unfair to people who are sued, and he's particularly upset because an individual person, this is a journalist, is alleged to have done something to damage the name of a Sinn Fein TD who about Israel and the war in Palestine when the whole country has very strong views on this. Anyway, I'm not giving you the answer. It's before the courts. Let them belt away. If it resolves itself sometime, I'll make a video on it if I'm still around. Folks, give your views. Don't comment on the rights or wrongs of this case. Don't comment on the rights or wrongs or name the TD or name the journalist. Don't say anything. If you have the article, send it to me or post it to me or get it to me somewhere and I'll have a read of it and I'll wonder what's said. But the thing about it is it's not so much that. It's the fact that the former Taoiseach and the former Taoiseach, Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, he held the two posts, is now whinging about this, and he's been in power for years and years and years and sat on his backside. Good luck. Thank you very much.